You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly, real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. Almost every R. Kelly accuser who took the stand in court to testify against him had to add to their testimony the phrase "I was 17 when this happened to me." This makes us question exactly why none of them had the chance to show up and say, "I am currently 17 years old and I have been with R. Kelly." For a man the government is trying to convince us likes them underage, why is there no accuser that is currently underage to prove this? Maybe then we can believe the narrative the government is trying to sell to us. I am confident those who hate R. Kelly so much for their own personal reasons and happen to be listening to this are trying to create all kind of possible excuses for these women, like, maybe they were too young to sue him and it's only now that they have understood they can take R. Kelly to court and make him pay. But remember, this is not the first time R. Kelly has been sued by these women. There is a whole record of settlements that were made with the mediation of notorious attorney Susan Loggins, by those among them who targeted R. Kelly for his money before. And even then, they were not underage and none mentioned anything to do with being 17 or younger. There has been numerous examples these women or their parents could have learned from that one can actually take R. Kelly to court if they felt they had a case. But because they knew so well they were of age when they started out with Robert, they didn't take this step. Not until R. Kelly fell out with his record company Sony RCA and made his demands did the government pick interest in his case and forge a way into his personal life to turn these women against him, and use them as a tool to destroy him. The government was quick to realize that these women were all with Robert for the money, and if they took that away, they would quickly turn into a time bomb that they could manipulate to destroy the R&B King. And so they gave each one of them the story to tell that goes, "I was only 17 when R. Kelly did this to me." Stories that could capture the attention of the usual part of the population that wants to convince everybody that they are so holy and perfect, and these quickly bought into the big lie the government concocted. To prepare the masses for the big lie, together with Dream Hampton, Sony planned out and made the surviving R. Kelly docuseries, a TV show whose sole purpose was to defame R. Kelly and make him unpopular among the masses as a very bad person. And to those who keep saying Sony is not behind this, there is no way the production was going to freely access and use R. Kelly's own music in this series that was meant to defame him if Sony hadn't given them the rights. The only thing Sony and the government needed was for the world to believe that R. Kelly is a very bad man, and then they would do anything they want to him. Like mute his music and cut off his revenue, and lock him up for over 2 years as a suspect with no trial, duly denying him bail even when he qualified to get it. The government generally did everything possible to sabotage R. Kelly's ability to defend himself when they denied him the opportunity to be out on bail so he could freely interact with his attorneys and prepare a good defense. This is likely the reason it took him long to even realize that the Nicole Becker team was not really defending him, but simply dragging him down and making it easier for the prosecution to implicate him. Without a real defense, R. Kelly was cheated of what could have been an easy victory in the Brooklyn federal court where inappropriate charges such as the RICO and Mann Act violations were imposed on him. What remains factual though is none of the women were underage when they appeared in court, and even though they claimed they started out with R. Kelly below the age of consent, the government was not able to prove this at trial beyond reasonable doubt. If anything, there is more information and facts to prove that the accusers were of age when they were with R. Kelly, as I am going to explain to you in the next part of this video. First, it is important to note that the travel regulations demand that minors be accompanied by their parents to the airport until they board the aircraft, and that another parent or relative responsible for their well-being be at the other end to receive them. While minors are able to travel on local flights, they must follow these regulations and are required to present their identification each time they are traveling. So those who claim to have flown from one state to another on R. Kelly's demands without their parents' consent and for illegal purpose are simply faking it. They must have presented IDs that proved they were not minors, meaning they were 18 and over. Unless they had their parents' consent, and in this case, this would not be trafficking considering the reason for travel would be known and non-detrimental. Another important thing to note is that almost all these women during their early days with R. Kelly made surgical upgrades to their bodies, such as boob jobs that can only be authorized with a parent's consent, Of course save for when they are above 18 years old. If they were minors and their parents allowed them to do this, then the parents wouldn't be claiming they didn't know what was going on with their kids and would also have to be held accountable. But because they were all above 18 when they were with R. Kelly, the doctors saw no need to involve their parents and went on with the surgeries. According to Zeekby, many people were on the women's side when R. Kelly had just been arrested. They probably watched Surviving R. Kelly and were intoxicated with the false testimonies. When the truth came out, the same people are now against the women. Why is it that when a woman cries to the authorities they are quick to believe, and the first thing they want to do is lock him up, R. Kelly, even with no proper investigation? I pray that when all this is over, Kells sues the entire prosecution team and the parents to these adult women so they too can serve some time, however short, in jail. Sony record label dropped R. Kelly for no good reason and many people follow the trend ignorantly. It's weird how people can be quick to destroy your legacy without knowing the real truth of what happened. He too couldn't believe it when he told us the same in his last interview. According to Jay, it disturbs me to learn that this is happening to R. Kelly. Black men in the United States are in serious danger if black women are now being hired to frame a big-time R&B singer like Robert. If this can be done to him, what about the ordinary man? I hope one day he will continue to make music. We surely miss his voice and the new songs he always kept coming. R. Kelly is a true legend. No matter how much the haters try to put him down, he will always be the greatest of all time. According to Sheila Turner, this case has gone on too long. It's been 3 years and counting, but we still discussing R. Kelly. Why don't they just free this man, for he is innocent? Enough is enough. Many people involved thought it was going to be a walk in the park taking down R. Kelly, and that they would do it and continue living their normal lives. They forgot that behind every action there is a consequence. Something needs to be done to check all these people involved. They all need to serve some jail time. Glad the truth is now coming out that what they did to R. Kelly was simply defamation of character. And as far as I know, that should be a crime. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say. To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.